another part of the story, we all saw the DeepSeek AI stuff from China. That's playing into this as well. And the fact that this Chinese company was able to train an AI model at a fraction of the cost of the American AI players, and using less advanced chips than the expensive NVIDIA ones. I think that should be a bit of an awakening, that we have to understand. People like Sam Altman and others, when they're able to convince people that it costs, extraordinary amounts of money and extraordinary amounts of energy to have these AI successes, they're partially saying they might think that's true, but it's empowering to them to have to lead over these gigantic budgets. It actually enriches them and their companies. So if a Chinese AI can do it at a fraction of the cost, I think that is a very important message to be sent, that we can't take everything these billionaire tech guys are saying at face value, and think that they're the sole savior out there, because for all the downsides about DeepSeek, where I wouldn't want to be using it in terms of information privacy and the connections to China and all that sort of stuff, it's good to have more competitors out there, I think.
Absolutely. So we have been talking about DeepSeek on social media for the past few weeks, and I think people are thinking, oh my goodness, it's free. I don't have to pay for it like ChatGPT, but I, like you, would really caution people against using it right now. I think the reality is we just don't know how well your private information or personal information is protected. And also, like you alluded to, there are issues with censorship of information. And
safety too, right?
Yes.
There's some American group did a test on DeepSeek and said it failed every single one of their AI safety things. You could get DeepSeek to tell you how to manufacture a bomb. You could get DeepSeek to tell you how to hack into US government databases. What you couldn't get DeepSeek to do is talk about Tiananmen Square. So that just goes to show that it's obviously something from China. They care about what they care about, but it may not be what we all should be caring about.
Absolutely. And thinking about the role of AI on a global scale, do you want to mention that the AI summit just wrapped in Paris, and a lot went on, a lot of government officials and leaders of countries who spoke there. But do want to say that there was a declaration there that was signed by more than 60 countries, but the US and the UK did not sign that. Not a lot of information about why the US didn't sign. I think we can guess it's because they don't want more regulation. The UK, I should add, I read a little bit more about this. They're more concerned about some of the lack of security details within it. But do want to note that both the UK and the US did not sign that.
Yeah, and when you look at having the US as major player in the world, China not paying much attention to this, as we can see from DeepSeek, it kind of reminds me of the environmental situation, where if you've got China and the US, who are the two biggest polluters in the world by far, if they're not participating in the sort of environmental side of things, on the AI side, if those guys decide to keep going without any guardrails, it's really hard to understand if guardrails would actually be of any use if every other country in the world put them in place. So it's not a great place to be, I would have to say.
So we want to switch gears a little bit. We have about a minute left. I want to talk about Apple Health, because I know you're really excited about this, as am I.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Apple has just announced a new Apple Health study that's a little bit different than the things they've done in the past, where they did really directed studies, like for the Apple Heart study and things like that. This is a study that is meant to last 5 years, could go longer, and collect a bunch of data from your devices and from people participating in the study about physical and mental health. And, Apple has a really good track record of making these things work, and they have an ability to reach people that most research studies don't. So that Apple Heart study had 400,000 participants, and your average medical study might have hundreds if they're lucky. So it's great to see them doing stuff like this. They just had the new hearing test and hearing aid feature, active hearing protection in their new AirPods, and the Powerbeats Pro have a heart sensor. Powerbeat Pro 2 has a heart sensor in the ear. So it's pretty exciting to see them continuing to develop these technologies that help people's health and help them get through the day a little more aware of what's going on with their body.
Absolutely. Apple is such a leader in this space. So we will also keep an eye on what they're doing over the weeks and months to come.
Yeah, absolutely. And in fact, the Wednesday after this airs, Apple has an announcement for some new gear there. Not quite sure what it might be, but we'll keep our eye open about that as well.